Hello, everybody. Ark here. I don't know, it's been forever. Like, it's actually been over a year since I last posted, anything. And, there's a lot of reasons for that, and I wanted to make a video explaining where the heck have I been, what the heck have I been doing, and all that jazz, but I didn't have a game that I could peacefully do while I did that, so I decided to do some Stardew Valley. Please ignore the fact that I'm gonna just be doing random Stardew Valley shit while I explain. So I'm pretty sure a year ago, yeah, I'm doing this off the top of my head, by the way. There was no script. There's never a script. But, yeah, so I decided to take a very long break from YouTube, and streaming and anything in general. I wanted to focus on a lot of personal stuff, and I felt that the only way to do that was to kind of take a step back. And I don't want to say neglect, but pretty much neglect this part of my life for a while, because there was just a lot going on, a lot I had to deal with, a lot of things I had to kind of come to the conclusion of myself, and a lot of those things were not fun at all. I also had to buckle down and get my life together. Now I'm not going to throw anything out there like, oh, I was feeling so pressured and everything was just coming at me so fast I couldn't actually do anything, and I felt so trapped by it. Look, let's be real. Like, the only people who watched it are the friends I shared to on Facebook, and the one or two people who might accidentally stumble onto these videos and just go, what the heck is going on here? At the discombobulated mess that is my voice, and my sometimes atrocious gameplay. It became kind of, so in a way I guess it was more like when it came to things I needed to cut down on so I could focus on certain other aspects of my life, it seems easy to say this is the thing that should go, because I mean no one's really watching it. Its upkeep is not strenuous, but it was kind of like something I have to put effort into, and effort in this direction really wasn't something I could afford at the time. That's not to say that I didn't want to, I did, but it just felt like every time I went to go pick up the controller and start on something that would inevitably lead to making a video, there was just this underwhelming feeling of, but why? And that was the question I didn't have an answer to for a very long while. And because I didn't have the answer to it, whenever it came time to do a video, I just couldn't muster the willpower, so to speak, to make myself get up and perform. And honestly, with YouTube, for anyone, that's what it is. Regardless of what they tell you, it's a performance. Even when you're being honest, raw, and real, there's a part of you that is putting your best foot forward. But frankly, that's just life. You're putting your best foot forward so that people can see the part of you that you want them to see. And that's not a bad thing. Wanting people to think the best of you and being pleasant and nice to be around is fine. There's never going to be anything wrong with that. But there are times where that's just exhausting. And it's not exhausting because it's fake, but it's exhausting because regardless of whether anyone's willing to admit it or not, it's still effort. Getting up and getting out of bed is effort. Life itself is effort. And sometimes when that effort becomes too much, you have to put some stuff behind you and kind of just not. And that's okay. No one should be forced to do the dance in front of the audience all the time, every time, on demand. I think people get a really bad misconception about what they feel like they have to do and what is necessary. It is never necessary to stress yourself out over anything. That you have the active ability to put on hold and just say, no, I need to separate my life from this. And it's okay. And I think anybody who thinks differently isn't really thinking how stressful it can be. Well, that's okay, not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets how exhausting the performance can be. But I was essentially doing a bad performance on an empty stage, and I decided that my health, my mental well-being was far more important than putting up a false facade of I'm okay when I'm not. So I took time off, but one thing that I've learned about myself through all this is that procrastination is both my best friend and my worst enemy. And when I feel like it, I can disappear and never actually come back. And that's just to anything. That's not just to like YouTube. I have a really bad habit of being like, I'm gonna take a small break, and then a small break turns into like years later, obviously. And so, I mean, that's where we find ourselves today. Yeah, so honestly, all of this was just one big break where I just needed to step back from everything and just get myself together before I went going forward. But one of the things that I found was just super enlightening was finding myself and being able to breathe and be happy with who I am. And that's been one of the harder things to do, but also one of the more important things to do. And so I think in doing that, that was the correct step, and I don't feel the least bit bad about it. So that being said, I guess it's time to kind of go over, just give you some highlights. You know, 'cause I like it. But no, I think one of the biggest things is that I have moved. And for those who may or may not be aware of who I am or where I was staying, I no longer live there. I was in Georgia, and I have recently moved. Not recently; it's been a few months now. But I have moved to the beautiful, beautiful state of Illinois, where I have been happy for the most part, and I'll get to why in a minute. But yeah, I've been in Illinois and I've been happy and I've been wonderful, and it's been not rough, it's been a little weird, but I have honestly never been happier than I am right now. And for me, that's what is important, is the fact that I feel good. I feel good about where I am and the steps that I've taken to be where I want to in all of this. Um, and I think more than anything, it's important that I feel good about where I'm going and what I've done. And that brings me to my next point. Um, Sorry, I had to look up something. But that I think last I mentioned my dating situation, I was single. After having gotten out of a really bad breakup. Or just out of a situation where I didn't feel appreciated, where I had been lied to repeatedly, and where I had been manipulated into feeling like I wasn't a decent person, which was not true, and where I had been made to feel like I was less of a person. And I am all too happy to report that that is no longer the case. I am not in a relationship with that person anymore. And while I do wish him all the best, I believe that us separating for what has been some years now has been to the benefit of the both of us. And so I think we've just managed ourselves a lot better separately than we ever did together. And I think that's something to just be aware of, is that you don't have to stay in something that is bad just because you love someone. I think we need time to separate, reevaluate who we were as people, and honestly what we were doing to each other. Because let me be honest, it wasn't just him. I was reacting and breaking him down as much as he was breaking me down, because I was angry and upset and tired and just feeling neglected and hated. And all of those things were, yes, a product of him being an abusive person emotionally, but also I found that for me, that wasn't the person I wanted to be, was someone who reacted with vitriol and hatred and anger because I was in a situation where I was being made to feel like that. So I got out, and I reevaluated myself. He reevaluated himself, and we came to the conclusion that we just needed a lot of time apart. Because that's the thing that so many people don't understand, is that nobody's perfect, and when mistakes are made, those need to be reflected on, because that's the only way you grow and become a better person, is by understanding what's going on, what you've done, and who in fact you are as a result of the things that you've been through. That being said, it had been years, and I'm not gonna say like I gave up on the dating world. I kind of did though. I was like, what's this? Like it, forget it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be. It's a feeling of not wanting to open up to other people, because like it's a process. Like having to do all those steps all the fucking way over again is exhausting, and I just like, I got other things I want to put energy into, and that's just not one of them. And so I just didn't. I didn't. And oops, for the longest time, that was just how it was. I just didn't want to be bothered with having to put effort into people, because it was just, you know, when you get messed up so many times and you're just like, I don't want to ever be bothered with people again. You get in that mindset, of course, and then it's like, well, how do you get out of it? And like, part of it is you don't. There's always a part of you that's just like, I don't want to be bothered with people, and that part gets bigger and bigger with each kind of sort of disaster that just kind of falls from the sky, and you're just like, if this is what it's going to be, I want no part of it. And that's where I was until the day I inexplicably ran into the man who is now my boyfriend for almost 2 years now. Oh, it'll be like 2 years in March. So we're like past the 1.5 year mark, but like we've done I mean, we're pretty far along in our relationship standard-wise. I mean, we were both mature people who kind of just realized, I mean, what's the point of doing the dance? We might as well just admit that we just want to be together. And so we were like, okay, we loved talking to each other, we loved hanging out, we loved being around each other. And so I feel like we progressed rather quickly, but we were both just people who really knew what we wanted and what we wanted out of the relationship. And I can honestly say again, I've never been happier. I'm with somebody who respects my opinion, who listens to me, who makes sure that I'm understood, and that when I say something, that he's giving me 110% of his attention. And honestly, I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, I know those are low standards. Those are the basic tenets of what should be in any relationship. That I will not catch any argument from me. And I mean, we have a lot of other things we have in common. We both have a deep love of fantasy. And he's a wonderful, wonderful person. And, you know, maybe you'll see him on a stream with me sometime if I can ever convince him to do so. But for the most part, he is honestly heaven sent. And no, he's not perfect. There's still arguments, of course. There's still moments where I kind of want to like chuck him off the far side of the cliff into the deep ravine known as the Grand Canyon. But I mean, those moments are not only few and far in between, they never feel as dramatic as they used to. Oh my God, they used to, but they don't feel, there's no heat behind those moments. It's just like, I really wish you wouldn't just set your plate by the side of the sink and just put it in the sink. Or by the side of the trash can and put it in the trash can. There's a pattern. But, no, he's wonderful. And I've never been happier. And I honestly can't pretend I'm anything else. Nor do I want to. I enjoy having him with me. I enjoy being in his company, in his presence. And I love that. I love everything about us. Even the parts that you're actually not supposed to like. So I guess the grand question of how did I meet him? Well, I mean, that's the part that gets a little dicey, because the answer is I was trying to buy a husband in a game that I was playing online, and nobody was taking a bait, so I decided I would raise $3 million in game, and then I would buy a husband. And I ran into him by accident because well, not by accident. He was the game was Final Fantasy 14, and I needed help with a boss fight. They're called Trials, and he was all too willing to help. And it was just like, wow, you're an awesome person. Do you want to take $3 million or 3 million gil, and you want to get married? And he was like, keep it, let's just get married, because I want to see like what that part of the game looks like. And so I was like, okay, sure, whatever, we'll just do it. And so we went through the marriage ceremony, and we started talking. And like as we were talking, we were realizing we had like so much shit in common. And like we kept talking, and it was like, hey, let's be friends. And then like very shortly later, again, like we moved very, I openly admit, we moved very fast. It was just like, do you want to hang out outside of this? And we're like, yeah. And so like, of course, at the time, he lived in Louisiana and I lived in Georgia, so it was like, we'll just hop on game and we'll talk. And a while later, it was like, are you like seeing, you're single, are you seeing anybody? And it was like, no, I'm not seeing anybody. Are you? And it was like, no. And so, yeah, we started dating. And it was a little odd and rough and difficult at first, because long distance dating is like really, really difficult. I've done it before. It's never, for me personally, it's never fun. I'm a contact person. Like, I love hugs. I love being cuddled up, and I love like face-to-face conversations. So always having to do something over Discord or over the phone, or sending like, pics of, hi, hey, like this is something that happened at work, or like, this is a really weird sign that I saw while I was out walking, or stuff like that. And it's just, I'm not saying it was bad, it wasn't, but it was like, I want more. That's honestly what I felt. I was like, I just want more. Like, I want to be experiencing more than just this with you. And luckily, he was of similar mind, and not shortly, but a while after, we just decided, you know what? Why doesn't one of us just move? And honestly, he had the better job. So it was just like, yeah. So I saved up money, took a little while, and then I just moved here. And so, yep, now I'm in Illinois. Well, I mean, I didn't just move out here. I visited once or twice. Which, can I just say that when I got here when I first visited, I'd never been on a plane by myself. So I didn't know what you were supposed to do. I didn't know what documents or anything you needed. You don't need any. Really, you just need your ticket. But I ordered the tickets online and had like a little passcode online. So I get to the various checkpoints, and for whatever reason, nobody ever asked me for my ticket information or anything. So I get all the way to the boarding of the plane, and the guy who's checking the tickets at the thing is like, where's your ticket? I was like, I don't know, I just had this code they sent me, and he's like, you don't have a ticket. How did you get this far with no ticket, no identification, no nothing? And I was just like, look. And man, I was like, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, look, I don't control the effectiveness of your team, or lack thereof. Like, clearly our fears of terrorism have died, because none of you even remotely panicked at the thought of me just slipping my way in here by complete another accident, mind you. Like, I wasn't trying to be like potential terrorism threat thing, but like, again, nobody stopped me. Nobody saw the weird guy who looked like he had no idea where he was going and was 6'4", so definitely stood out in the crowd and went, maybe he shouldn't be here. Like, let's ask him, is he okay, or what he's doing, or where he's going. And like, nope, these questions were never asked. So I just skadoodled my way over. And then it was just done. So yeah, it was just a matter of, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what's going on. I just kept walking forward until someone said stop. The problem is no one said stop. Also, if I'm honest, like, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. Just saying, security, step up your game, do your thing. Yeah, no. Just a little bit. But that was just what happened. And so my first visit here was lovely. Although I also missed the plane on the way back because we had to stop for Denny's, because I insisted that we have at least one sit-down meal thing, date, whatever you want to call it, that I had to have it. And we sat down, ordered food, ate, and then by the time we looked at the clock, we were like, oh no, we're not going to make it, and then we really did not make it. Like, at all. So then I had to go, and luckily the lady was so nice and so kind, and she was like, I'll just do this for you, because clearly you didn't know. And there's another one that's like going to be just a little bit, so just be patient. I was like, okay. So I wasn't upset, I wasn't angry, I wasn't horribly inconvenienced, everything was fine. But yes, wonderful guy, love him to death. He is the very thing that makes me smile when I wake up next to him now. And we're doing good, and I'm happy about that. Let's see, what else has been going on? Oh yeah, so, I won't say fun, but I'm adjusting to a couple of medical concerns that have been raised by my doctor, which I now have. I have a primary doctor. I feel so adult. Like, how adult is that to be like, bam, I got a doctor now. When I got problems, I can be like, hey, person of medical intrigue, let me know what's wrong with my body. And then she can go, you're dying. Which is essentially what happened. She was like, yeah, you know what, you're kind of dying a little bit. No, I got checked into the hospital with a blood sugar of like 763, and like every single nurse in the building was like, so you're not dead. We're not 100% sure how, but you're not dead. And I was just like, oh, yay, that's lovely. Wait, what? So I'm a diabetic. That's a thing. And at first I was like, but I'm so skinny. And they were like, genetics. And I was like, god dang it. So my life has been dealing with that, which is always lovely, always fun, always exciting, except when it's not. And honestly, there have been worse things. I'm not too upset about it. I mean, I have medicine I'm taking now. I'm fine. I'm not trapped in a hospital for 4 days being fed the equivalent of bird food. Like, oh my god, portion control sizing in hospitals is not okay. That is illegal. That is cruel and unusual punishment. Like, screw the death penalty. Just let them starve you in a hospital. Like, that's terrible. Ugh, but, you know, I like salads now. Where's the point? No, I've faced things worse than this. So, there's that. Which I mean is okay. I don't mind. Like I said, I've had worse things happen to me. So when I found out, I was like, all right, so what are we doing? Like, how are we going about this situation now? Like, what's my life going to be like now? And luckily, Grace Gray, English. I don't actually know what I mixed two words that I don't know which one of them I was supposed to be using. Gratefully, graciously, thankfully. Let's just go with thankfully because that one sounds better. Thankfully, the only thing I really have to do is change up my diet, which means no grains, no potatoes. So, you know, I am viciously contemplating just throwing myself off a cliff, but you know what? I'm gonna live. I'm gonna survive. Well, it's not none. I just have to regulate them and be like, up until a limit, I have to be careful. But yeah, for the most part, I'm doing pretty fine. I'm happy. My job sucks, and I'm happy to be a functioning part of society now, again. And you know, I had been feeling really good, and recently I was like, I want to make a video explaining where I've been and what I've been doing, and my plans for coming back, which is another thing. Yeah, I plan on doing streams and videos and stuff again. So that's going to be a thing that's happening, is me getting back into doing streaming and whatnot. But to the, like, maybe 3 or so people who actually watch this content on enough of a basis, I kind of want to know what you guys are thinking. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to watch? Like, do you want to see fighting games? I have RPGs. I have, like, leisure stuff like Stardew Valley that I love playing. And honestly, I feel like Stardew Valley is just going to end up being I have something to say, so I'm going to do something while I farm and whatnot. So, you know, just in general, like, if you're like, hey, you used to play Tekken and I want to see that again, I'm up for it. Or it's like, hey, your Blaze Blue content was cool, I want to see more of that. Honestly, I'm up for anything, really. But just let me know what you guys are thinking of that you want to see, and I will gladly throw it out there. Or if you have something and if you want to see a game and I don't have it, I am more than willing to spend the time and the money to grab some stuff and, like, trial and error it, maybe drag one of the guys in to play with me. But I have no problem with doing that either. But yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see and what you want to do, and I have no problem doing that. Like I said, this is me just coming back and getting a feel for where I want to be, what I want to be doing, and all of that jazz. So, like, I am as open to suggestion as I think I'll ever be. I say that, but I'll probably always be open to suggestion. But just let me know, and yeah, I can't think of other words. So, to those who are still subscribed to this channel and are going to be watching this, or are watching this as a VOD, or are watching live at the moment, thank you for being patient, and or thank you for not actively going, who is this guy on my subscription feed and just throwing me out with the bath water. Thank you, and or I hope this is something we can make a regular thing now again. I would love that very much so. So you know, like, just hit me up, say hey, do whatever. I would love to talk to you guys. I would love to play games for you guys and be as entertaining, since we are in this pandemic situation where people are trapped inside with nothing to do, and they're clamoring for entertainment content and things of that nature. And if you find me entertaining enough, I would love to do that for people, for anyone really. So like, thank you in advance for the consideration. If you're willing to, that would be lovely. If not, I completely understand. None of you are obligated to be here. But I want to make this content. I want to sit down and chat and have fun, and experience new things. Because, like, as my boyfriend has informed me, I have missed out on a lot of gaming history and culture. That is the fault of somebody who grew up in the Sega era in a poor family who could not afford every console known to mankind. And so I settled with having one type of console, and then just basically never moving anywhere out of that. So there's a lot of old games that I've just never played. And if you guys want to see that, I have no problem like getting the materials required for you guys to see like me playing a lot of games that maybe were parts of your childhood or were just straight up your life, and you want to see somebody experience that part of your life for the first time ever. Because, you know, I have that thing where I love introducing people to certain pieces of content that I've already seen, because I get to relive that first time experience through them, and I have no problem with that either. So, you know, I'm gonna stop rambling now, because I'm running out of things to say. Alright, so that being said, as always, like the video if you enjoyed listening to me talk about several things that I knew nothing about, or how to structure properly at all, ever, period. And comment if you have something you want me to play. I will be checking back and forth through this video over the next couple of weeks, maybe taking down some notes and putting together what it is I want to do. And with any luck, hopefully we'll be able to get that started. But thank you guys for sticking with me and just honestly being the most amazing people ever. And I will see you guys later. Hopefully we're going to start with some basic content. There's actually going to be a stream tonight. So, you know, we'll be playing some stuff. But I will see you all next time. Ark out. Bye.